express the radical in simplified form, assuming that all variables represent positive real numbers. When you have a cube root of any number here, so you're looking for factor of 3's here. So remember, if I have a to the power of 3, if I cube root of that, anybody know what this is equal to? Okay, remember, if I have a nth root of a to the power of m, that is the same as a to the power of m over n, remember? So if the roots and the exponents are exactly the same, so that would be a to the power of 3 over 3, which is 1, right? So that would be equal to 1. Does that make sense? So if I have 3 of a kind under this radical, and the root here is the same 3, then you can eliminate the radical, and you have it. But everybody know what is 4? Everybody know what the square root of 4 is equal to? What is the square root of 4 is equal to? 2. Now remember, we have 2 2's underneath this. This is 2 squared. If you use the same property here, okay, this would be 2 to the power of 2 over 2. When you have a square, it means 2. So that's why it's equal to 2. So the goal here is to have 3 of a kind here. Do we have, if I break negative 64 to its prime numbers, what do I get? How many of numbers, the same number we get multiplied together 3 times, you get 64? Somebody says 8, somebody says 4.
Negative 4.
Negative 4, right. Negative 4 to the power of 3, that gives me minus 64. So we do have 3 4's here. So if I separated this, just this part here, this is like cube root of negative 4 to the power of 3. So what is this? This would be equal to? Just negative 4, right? According to what we just talked about here, right? Okay, so let's take a look at the next one. Is 8 a factor of 3? No. What is 8 divided by 3? We cannot divide 3 into 8, right? We cannot. But portion of this is factor of 3. So I'm going to write this 8 to the power of 8 to the power of 8. I'm going to break it to 8 to the power of, what number would be factor of 3 which is less than 8? 6, right? 6. And then the extra would be the 2, right? So 8 to the power of 8 is really 8 to the power of 6 times 8 to the power of 2. So if I write it this way, part of this would be perfectly cubed. So at least I can take this portion out, this portion here. So what is this would be? This portion I cannot do much because I don't have 3 of a kind here. But this would be a to the power of what? 6 over 3, right? According to this, m over n, this would be 6 over 3. So that would be 6 over 3, which is 2. But this portion I have to leave under the radical. So far I have minus 4, a to the power of 2. This came out of the radical, but this stayed under the radical. I can do the same thing with b to the power of 5. So how do I take b to the power of 5, break it to what? b to the power of 3 times b to the power of 2. Part of these is perfectly cubed. You can write this as b to the power of 3, b to the power of 2. These are all cube roots. So this would be come out as just b, right? But b squared stay under the radical. So let's see what came out of the radical. Negative 4, a squared, b, these all came out of the radical. What stayed under the cube root, the radical? A squared, b squared. So which one would be a right choice here for me to pick as the answer? A.